like this no more. Legacy, legacy, legacy. You know it's all about the legacy, legacy, legacy.
All right, the Black Obsidian from Suprent. If I have to put it away or do a giveaway or anything like that or ship it back for a warranty, I like to keep the box and everything is intact. All right, so length. They have that form factor, something like a wall magic clip, and they have a rubber in the middle here, right? And the thumbprint is in the right place. Other clipper companies need to learn from certain pro on this. Like, we can't have rubber all over the place in different places. It don't make sense. Or thumb rests that are way down here. You know what I mean? So kudos to them for that. All right. Now, normally the manufacturer says it's a 3-hour runtime, 3-hour charge time. And normally you would go ahead and charge it for the recommended time. I'm going to test it to see if it comes on. They may have pre-charged it, and if they didn't, that's fine. I'll throw it back on the charge and let it run and give you some B-roll after this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this on. Ooh, nice power. We got a click lever, guys. Check that out. It's got a good sound to it, and the click lever is nice. Like, it doesn't get in the way. It's not too prominent, and it has a good click sound to it. Now, this comes with a fade blade on there, you know, similar to what we used to. You know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Just make it better like they did with the rubber grip here, the nice thumbprint, and, you know, man, I already know with the, and then you can see the power here. This is something that should come standard from now on. I shouldn't see another clipper without the power, without the, you know, display here. This LED display displaying how much battery life I got left. So they went ahead and threw that in as well, man. And we know it's charged to 84%, so they charged that thing right before they put it in the package. And so saludos to the Suprent team. Man, this is A1. This thing is amazing so far. All right, and it goes right into the stand. It's not rickety. It's solid. It's solid in there. If I rock it back and forth like this, minimal wiggle, right? It's form fit for this stand, and the stand is strong enough and balanced enough and has enough weight to it that, you know, it's just perfect for this clipper without being overpowering to the station. You know, it has a low profile to it. Let me show you. It has a low profile, right? You might not be able to tell here, but on the station, it just looks nice, man. And I'm gonna do a B-roll of me setting that down. But that's nice. Let's pull out these trimmers. Wow, I already feel it through the package. It's like, now this is quality, guys. This is very, very quality. All right, same thing. Has a more metal front housing with, I don't know what this is, maybe a carbon back here with some texture back here. Not too much texture, but just enough for, you know, just to prevent the slippage. And it has that rubber in the front that I like, with a thumbprint that's sitting right where it needs to sit. All right, these guys, they have it right. The trimmer is not too long. It very much reminds me of my my Babylysses. Let me pull those out just so y'all can kind of see them. And you can tell, you know, it has some inspiration from the Babyliss Pro team. Even the screws and the housing are very similar. All right, but I don't know if I had to like close my eyes and pick which one I liked how it felt in my hand the most, I would say this one. All right, because of the form factor, because it has this rubber here, and because it actually, I don't know, it feels better in the hand. And you see they have details on that Babyliss don't for their low pro, which is this, you know, this diamond encrusted texture that they have on the back to prevent slippage. So yeah, man, this is great. And then we're gonna turn it on. And we have a display here as well. Wow. I don't think I have any trimmers that have a power left LED indicator, okay? So kudos to you guys. Wow. Let me check out this blade. Oh man, like I could see based on this moving blade, I feel like they're gonna hit. Reason being is because you can see you can see where the curvature of the blade is slanted on the angle, and it has that cut edge on it on the moving blade. The steel blade is kind of what we're used to. However, I could tell in the detail that the tip of this blade is very slightly angled, just on the edge, and the edges are rounded on both sides. So I know that at least coming out the box, they're not zero gapped, but they may be optimal. So we're gonna go ahead and test them right now. on my clients today, and we're gonna see what they say about it, and then I'll be back with, you know, my thoughts and my final opinion about these tools. Starting out with the Black Obsidian trimmers. Now, these trimmers out of the box, they hit pretty decent, especially, you know, debulking this particular client and going around the perimeter lineup. Now, they're not one tap liners out of the box. They're decent, but I did notice once sharpness on the Suprent Pro trimmer, okay? So we're gonna ask Miss Davika here what her thoughts are on them, okay? Now for me, these are cutting pretty sharp. Do they feel sharp?
They don't feel sharp at all.
What do they feel like?
I don't feel no sharpness at all.
Wow.
Nothing.
I mean, as you guys can see, hopefully you can see that clearly. It's actually cutting pretty well. And I'm not even super light-handed with it. It's like a medium pressure that I'm giving. And they're cutting in pretty good lines right here on this sidebar. What you think about the sound?
The sound is a little loud, but it's not too bad.
You think it's a little loud?
Just a little loud, but it's not bad.
Okay.
But it's not sharp at all. I don't feel any sharpness on my neck at all.
Okay, that's good. I think it's just because where I'm lining up is right next to her ear. But in general, I think, me personally, I think these are comparison to other trimmers. It's actually not that loud. We'll compare it to the Babylesses here that are very similar to those. It's a big difference, huh? See that? Yeah. And to be fair, I do have a different blade. I got the Psycho blade from T-Bob on it, so it doesn't sound like it would right out the box with the appropriate blade on here, but it's about how it sounds. So. How do you feel, little man? Did they hurt? Do they feel good? They feel okay? Okay. All right, guys. So friend, Mr. Will. And we're going to test out the Suprent Pro now that I have them zero gap and see how they feel. And I'm going to be talking about how they cut, in my opinion. How does these feel to you, bro?
So they feel pretty good. They actually to say that it's sharp, it actually feel like you barely touch my head right now.
Okay. So comfortability is actually pretty good on me, you think?
Yeah, I didn't even think that they were even sharp, until I kind of asked about it. But I mean, I can't, like I said, man, I can barely feel like you touch my head right now.
So what would you give them on a scale of 1 to 10? I got them zero gap or whatever. On both ways, this way going up and down, and this way going this way.
I would say a 10.
You say a 10 on the comfortability.
Yep, a 10 on comfortability.
Okay, well that's good for client reaction, guys. In my opinion, I think they're good. They cut okay. They cut pretty decently, but they don't cut as close as other blade or tools that I'm using. And it's not really the body. It's not the motor. It feels very quality, but it's just the blade is not hitting like I'm used to, I think this will be fine for most barbers. I like mine to hit like a razor. And so even though these are comfortable and they hit, I would say decently, they don't hit as clean and sharp as I'm used to. So, all right, moving on to the Black Obsidian Clipper. It's got a brushless motor with 7,000 RPM, a detachable DLC blade, and the lithium-ion battery keeps it running for about 3 hours. Now, I'm really enjoying the power and the fact that they're very quiet, and I was able to knock out my fades slightly faster than I normally do. Although they're one of the most quality adjustable clippers I've used, the client experience got a bit heated, like literally. At about 2 minutes in, my client Will said he felt them warming up. So these clippers do fade very well, but you gotta move fast if you plan on using these without the guard. Check this out.
So I can feel these warming up already, and I think that the catch is, so, we've been going 2 minutes now, and I felt the coolness, 2 minutes ago. We're barely at 2 minutes, and I can already feel it warming up.
See, I had a kid yesterday, same thing, he was saying hot.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know now. Is it hot? Is it unbearable?
No, it's not unbearable yet, but like, to say that we're 2 minutes, we're already at a point where I'm like, man, okay, I can definitely feel the difference, with warming up. I can only imagine, what 3-5 minutes will be like,
imagine 10 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
If it took me that long, I mean, to give the company credit, it blends really well and quickly, so good for them. You don't have to feel it because right now I'm about to put another guard on, but
yeah,
I guess the point is just, that it does heat up.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you pointing that out, bro.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, so we got to the part of the video where we're going to be giving our thoughts on the Black Obsidian set by Suprent Pro. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the blades, all right? Comparing them both, right? Talking about the trimmer themselves. The trimmer coming out the box, the blade does not hit. It does not hit close enough in comparison to some of the top blades that are out there. The Gold FX X blade from Babyliss, or even the Coco Ambassador blade or T-Pop. The competitors have a much better blade at this point, all right? Even after zero gapping them, they did not hit. Wasn't impressed with the sharpness of the blade. However, they were comfortable to the client, so that is a good point for this tool, all right? Let's talk about the blades here. On the adjustable, right, this blade cuts well. It's soft on the client's skin until 2 minutes later when it's getting warm. Actually, check this out.
5 minutes later.
All right, so we got to what, about, I guess 5 minutes?
Yeah, about 5 minutes into it.
And now mind you, actually put the guard on, and when I was coming down to do some touch-ups towards the bottom of the fade, and after cutting with like maybe 5 minutes, what's your experience at about 5 minutes?
Yeah, so from the 2 to 5 minute, it went from warm to basically extremely hot, right? Now my tolerance, I could probably withstand a little bit more of it, but for us to be at 5-6 minutes into it, it's extremely hot to the point where I could definitely see where a child would be like, hey, I can't withstand this anymore.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. Y'all heard it from him. All right, as you heard, guys, the clipper got warm in about 2 minutes and it was already hot in 5. All right. Also, you know, how I found out was from this kid when he said, hot. It's hot. Is it hot? Well, it is getting hot. Okay. Yeah. Kid said it was hot. I was like, wow. I was only 2 minutes into the cut. And so I was like, let me go ahead and set these down. I worked throughout that day, decided to give it a day, oiled them up, came back the next day, and then Will also had a problem. So I don't know if it, I have a set that has, some kind of defect or whatever, but my experience with these are they cut well, they leave in, they debulk well, they give good guidelines. However, all right, so you got to hurry up and do what you're going to do if you're going to be using these, right? And staying too long on that ball line. These get hot really quick. And so that's really kind of a drawback for this tool. And if you guys can tweak these blades each and get better blades on these, then man, then you fixed probably 70% of any problem in comparison to other tools of its kind, because you guys have something special here. All right, comfort. Let's talk about comfort. Both of these tools, they have a rubber guard in the middle with a concave placement for you to put your thumb on both. I love it. All right, I wish other companies would do this. All right, having this type of ergonomics, this type of feel. I don't know what about these that feel like different. Very similar to Babyliss Low Pros, right? But even though they have some of the same design, what stands out with these actually feel more quality than these. All right, especially given that they have that rubber piece in the middle. All right, with the click lever, this click lever on the Babyliss is terrible compared to these. These are smooth. All right, so I don't know, they took a similar design, but they actually made it a lot better. Okay, so we're talking about the comfort of design, right? That click lever is very smooth and I love it, to be honest. It has a similar location for the power on and off switch, and it has a nice fade blade on it. It just gets hot, okay? All right, so let's talk about the comfort here. Obviously, very well balanced. It's solid material, metal housing on the front like this. However, has that rubber strip in the middle, which I love, okay? Great design, guys, great design. Let's talk about the charging. Charging comes with a charging dock, right? Charging dock for the trimmer. Sits in there, boom, it's heavy. Has a metal housing at the bottom. I don't know, hard plastic here, very, very quality and low profile. These are really dope. As long as you keep them on this charging dock. You also have another cheat code. They included a power display to give you the time remaining on this tool. All right, has it on both sets, the trimmers and the clippers. All right, so it's a no-brainer that right here I have 36 minutes left on this tool before, or 36% left on this tool before it's gonna go ahead and die. So I need to go ahead and put it on the charger, get it charging. All right, and that's dope. Like, I feel like that's something that companies should be doing at this point with their tools. And kudos to Suprent for making that jump, because that's the future. All right, so we appreciate you guys for that. Let's talk about the sound. All right, so with the trimmer, client gave it a high regard for the sound. Now, I've only been working with this for 2 weeks so far. It could change over time. Maybe, something gets loose in the tool. I don't feel like it because these are built so solid. But if there is a change in the sound, I'm gonna put it in my description as a update. And if it's a noticeable change, if you don't see one and it's a year later and you're seeing this video, then these things still sound great. And I probably already changed the blade a few times, okay? So definitely the sound is a standout for this particular tool. Let's go ahead, this is my mic right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and run them versus another trimmer set. We'll even run it versus the very similar Low Pro FX. Let me make sure that they're locked down real quick before I do that. Okay, so I just wanna make sure there's no rattle. And just so you know, to be fair, right? I have my favorite blade on this, the T-Pop Psycho blade. So it doesn't sound exactly like it does out the box, but it's very similar, okay? So first thing first, we're gonna go ahead and do the Suprent Pro trimmer. As you can hear, a low noise. Now, here's a low pros. All right. They feel like they have a little bit more power, but it could just be that they're just louder. They're not as solid as these. These are very much well built. These feel a little bit more cheap than these. All right. And I don't know if it's I don't know. The quality on these are definitely a lot more, solid. These are a lot more solid than the low pros. So I think that could contribute to the sound dampening that's going on with this tool. So it sounds really good. So I'll give you a check right there on the sound section. Let's talk about comfort. Same thing. Client said that this particular tool, the trimmer, was comfortable. Okay, very comfortable. Same thing for the adjustable. The sound and the comfort, both very strong in both tools. However, again, this one gets hot, so that's a major drawback that needs to be fixed. Let's go ahead and jump to the battery. You already did the battery. This comes also with a charging dock as well. So kudos for that. And it's just as quality as the trimmer dock. They're about their mirror image and they fit snug. And man, so very, very A1. Good pros, couple negatives. Let's just talk about I'd say some improvements. Blades need work, guys. We got to fix the blades. And we also should find a way to put USB-C charging somewhere on the tool in order to allow the flexibility of charging without that dock. And, just kind of coming up to the time with 2024, if possible. Okay, that would be ideal. All right. Man, I can't say too many improvements. I mean, it's a lot more pros than cons, but it isn't two major cons. These don't really hit like they need to. These are a little, they get a little toasty, all right? And so we got to definitely get that fixed. All right, but the main pro is that you can go on the Suprent website and pick these both up, the whole set, both the combo with all of the blades and the docking stations and everything. They give you everything in the box for $179.99 for both. All right. And for tools of this quality at that price, I highly recommend these. Like, if you're new and you're looking for a set, if you cut your own hair at home and you want a set that a quality ain't gonna fall apart on you, not loud, then these would be good to go ahead and pick up, even with the drawbacks. Just understand that they're gonna be hot. Now, here's a suggestion. If I was to get these set myself and this is the only tools I was gonna have, right? I would go ahead and change out, because of the form factor, you can change out this blade for something like the Gold FX blade or any of the Babyliss blades, or even the T-Pop blade, which is my personal favorite, the T-Pop Psycho, or you could throw on the Ambassador blade from Coco. Like, that's probably my second favorite blade, and it'll fit right here on this body, right? And I know it's an extra cost, but you're not gonna find a tool of this quality, of this caliber, for that price point. So if you had to, and if you felt like once you got these, you felt like I did, if it wasn't cutting like real bald like you wanted, then that's a suggestion there. You could do the same thing with this blade because it does get hot quick. At least the set that I have. Now, it could be just a manufacturer's defect and I just happen to get that bad pair, which happens, right? But if you get these and they feel hot, you can actually go out and get this, the blade that goes on the Babyliss FXs or the Low Pros, and you'll have a pretty decent blade. Me personally, my favorite steel blade is the Vapor blade from Gamma. So if it was me, I would go ahead and I'd do some modifications on this, and you'll have yourself, if you could get the blades right, and you'll have yourself a really good set that will seem to last you a long time, because of the build quality on these are very, very good and surprisingly good, especially at the price point that they have. All right. So even with the few drawbacks, these are highly recommended, guys, and I can't really stress this enough. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed my comparison and enjoyed the video. I do have a lot more tools that I'm going to be reviewing soon. I got the Clippers, should be dropping next week, the MC1 from Clippers Company. I have other tools that have been sent to me, but that's what I have for my channel. I'm going to be doing detailed reviews on tools like this to help you decide what's the best for you. And if it's not exactly the best, I'll tell you kind of how the best practices and what you could do to make that particular tool work for you, or what tools are a better option for you. But you know, my personal opinion, these, get them. All right, if you're looking for a new set of clippers and a combo, go ahead and pick them up. That's my official verdict on them. And I hope you liked the video, and we got a lot more in tune. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, Legacy out.
You can't fall without us.